Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I say our, but it's still me. Mama Fan went back to Vietnam. And if you're new here, I'm Kimberly. Today we are diving into a classic comfort food. Vietnamese style wonton noodle soup with char siu pork. But in Vietnamese, we call it mì Hoành Thánh with thịt sa siu. It's savory, flavorful, and surprisingly easy to make at home. I know you guys are gonna love that part. So let's get started! We are going to get started with the broth. I like to have that simmering while I prep veggies and marinate the char siu pork. In this pot, I already have the parboiled pork bones and the stewing hen. We're gonna add the peeled onion, green onions, and ginger. I sliced them in half so it would release more of that aroma. And since this is a Vietnamese wonton soup, fish sauce of course, I will add a little bit of sugar now too, and I'll adjust in a little bit. Some white pepper. I'm gonna hit the broth with a little bit of sesame oil. So while the broth is cooking, this is a perfect time to start making the wontons. So we'll start by making the filling. First, I'm going to chop some green onion. This is actually kind of a lot, but I will use some of them for garnish. I'll just take the ends and put it into the pork. I'm going to take that garlic that I chopped, just some of it, and add it to the pork mixture. So you want to use any pre-peeled, deveined shrimp of your choice. I prefer the bigger white shrimps, and I like to just roughly chop them because when I'm eating the wontons, I like to get the bigger pieces of shrimp in there. So that's why I'm hand chopping them as opposed to putting them into the food processor. So we're gonna pick all that up, put it into the mixture. Start off with, I'll do like a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, half a tablespoon of white pepper, fish sauce. I like to put a little bit of baking soda in here. It just gives it kind of that bouncy-like texture. I like that. So we're gonna put a little in here. If you don't want it, don't put it. And we will just mix. Make sure everything is nicely combined. This next part is the fun part. We're gonna be wrapping the wontons. It is quite tedious too, but it's honestly so much fun to me. We're gonna take some filling, add it to the center, and then you're gonna wet the two edges, and then you're gonna fold it into a triangle. I just seal the edges with water. Then you turn it, and then you make these two corners meet. And it looks like a little golden nugget. So cute. Okay, so the water is boiling now, and we're just gonna drop these wontons into the water, and once they float to the surface, they are ready. Now we will quickly blanch these bok choy in hot water. So you really only need to boil the broth for about an hour because we're not using any of the meat or the bones or anything in here. So at about an hour, it's already good to go. I like to do it for longer if possible, if you have time. So the longer, the better it's gonna taste, the more depth there's gonna be to the broth. But I had this on for about 2 hours and it's good enough for me now. So we're gonna turn it off and then go assemble our bowl. It is assembly time. In this bowl, I have both egg noodles and white rice noodles. I like these here. They're usually in the refrigerated section in the Asian stores, any Asian store. And then these are also found in Asian stores. You don't have to specifically buy this brand, but any type of egg noodle. With these noodles, you just put it into boiling water for about a minute. You don't have to cook it too long at all. And then with these noodles, I like to break off however much I want, and then I put it into a bowl with plastic wrap over the top, and I microwave it for about 1 to 1.5 minutes. You don't have to break it apart with your fingers or anything. Once you put the broth in, it will make the noodles come apart. I'm going to start by placing the bok choy here on the side, and then I'm going to put the wontons in. On the side, I'm going to layer some char siu pork that I already had. Let me know if you guys want the recipe for that. And the broth. Green onion, fried garlic. This is just a little extra that I like to add. I feel like it just enhances the flavor of the broth. Lastly, chili oil right here. I don't know about you guys, but I have worked up an appetite. I cannot wait to eat. So we're just gonna dig right in. That broth really is so rich and flavorful. With the pork buns and the stewing hen, it really just gives it that rich and bold flavor that enhances and pulls together the dish. Next, I'm gonna try my wontons. I'm so excited about these. I didn't expect them to turn out so big and juicy. I'm not even kidding. That is so bomb. Rice noodle. I like putting both the noodles together because the egg noodles are like a little chewier, but then the rice noodles are like very nice and slippery. It gives a different consistency. So both of them together just is an explosion in your mouth. You really just gotta try this at home. Bok choy. And there you have it, wonton noodle soup with char siu pork. The broth is rich and comforting, and the wontons are juicy and flavorful. Everything always tastes better homemade. Give this recipe a try and let me know how it turns out down in the comments below. And like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you know what we post next.